Are you preparing for your U.S. visa interview and feeling nervous about what questions might come your way? Don't worry. In this video, we'll walk you through the top 25 U.S. visa interview questions along with expert-crafted answers. These answers are designed to boost your confidence and help you present yourself in the best light. Whether it's a tourist, student, or work visa, mastering these questions will make your interview much smoother and stress-free. 1. Can you tell us about yourself? When asked this question, provide a concise summary of your background, education, work experience, and key achievements. Focus on relevant aspects that reflect stability, purpose, and ties to your home country. Keep it professional yet personal, highlighting skills or experiences that show responsibility and reliability. Avoid unnecessary details. A strong introduction sets the tone for the rest of the interview and demonstrates that you are well-prepared, organized, and confident. Keep it under 2 minutes. 2. Why do you want to visit the United States? Explain the purpose of your visit clearly. If it's for tourism, mention sightseeing, cultural experiences, or visiting family/friends. If it's for business, focus on meetings, conferences, or networking opportunities. Highlight that your trip is temporary and well-planned. Mentioning specific cities or attractions adds credibility. Avoid vague answers like "just to see." Your response should show that you have a legitimate reason for visiting, that you understand your itinerary, and that you intend to return home afterward. Being specific builds trust with the visa officer. 3. How long do you plan to stay in the U.S.? Be honest and provide exact dates or approximate duration based on your itinerary. Whether it's a short vacation or a conference, your answer should align with your travel plans. Mention your planned return date and explain why it is important for you to return home. Highlight ties like work, school, or family responsibilities that ensure you won't overstay. Avoid vague responses like "a few months." A clear, concise answer demonstrates your sincerity and reduces suspicion that you may try to stay longer than allowed. 4. Have you ever been to the U.S. before? Answer truthfully. If yes, briefly describe your previous visits, purpose, and compliance with visa rules. Emphasize your adherence to U.S. immigration laws. If this is your first visit, simply say so. Avoid exaggerating or giving unnecessary details. Honesty is critical. Visa officers often check travel history. Demonstrating previous compliance, if applicable, strengthens your credibility. If you had a prior visa denial, briefly explain the reason and what has changed now. Transparency shows integrity and reassures the officer that you are a responsible traveler. 5. Do you have relatives in the United States? Answer honestly and specify who they are: siblings, parents, or extended family. Explain whether they are citizens or permanent residents. Highlight that your purpose is temporary and unrelated to long-term residence. Avoid overemphasizing family connections as a reason to stay. The goal is to show the officer that your visit is legitimate and short-term, and that you have strong ties to your home country. 6. What is your current occupation? Describe your job clearly, including your role, responsibilities, and duration of employment. Mention your employer and provide context about the company if necessary. Highlight stability and professional accomplishments that indicate you have strong reasons to return home. For students, mention your field of study and academic goals. Avoid vague or exaggerated statements. A clear professional background demonstrates credibility and stability, reassuring the visa officer that your visit to the U.S. is temporary and that you have obligations and commitments in your home country. 7. How will you finance your trip? Provide details about your financial preparation, including personal savings, sponsor support, or employer funding. Mention bank statements, salary, or sponsorship letters if applicable. Highlight that you have enough resources for travel, accommodation, food, and emergencies. Avoid vague answers like "I have enough money." Confidence and clarity show responsibility. Providing proof or explaining your financial situation demonstrates that your trip is well-planned and that you are not likely to overstay or work illegally in the U.S. 8. Have you applied for a U.S. visa before? Answer truthfully. If yes, briefly explain the outcome, reason for denial if applicable, and what has changed now. If this is your first application, simply state that. Avoid unnecessary details. Transparency is crucial because prior visa applications are easily verifiable. Explaining improvements or changes since the previous application, like stable employment, better financial status, or clear travel plans, reassures the officer that you are a legitimate applicant. Honesty here prevents suspicion and demonstrates integrity. 9. What is your educational background? Summarize your academic qualifications, including degrees, schools, years attended, and special achievements. Highlight any relevant courses, projects, or certifications that support your career or travel plans. For students, emphasize your current enrollment and academic goals. Avoid giving irrelevant details. A concise educational summary demonstrates your qualifications and shows that you have a stable background, reinforcing the temporary nature of your visit. Confidence and clarity in presenting your education build credibility and help the officer understand your profile quickly. 10. Do you have any ties to your home country? Explain your personal, professional, and financial ties, such as family, work, property, or ongoing studies. Ties are crucial to prove you will return home. Be specific. Mention your job contract, school enrollment, or family responsibilities. Avoid generic statements like, "I will come back." Strong ties reassure the visa officer that your visit is temporary and that you are unlikely to overstay. The more concrete and verifiable your ties, the stronger your case for approval. 11. What are your travel plans in the U.S.? Provide a detailed itinerary, including cities, attractions, dates, and activities. If visiting family, mention their location and planned activities. For business, describe meetings or conferences. Avoid vague answers like, "I will decide later." A clear, structured travel plan demonstrates seriousness, organization, and intent to follow the visa's purpose. 12. Will you be traveling alone or with family? Answer honestly, specifying who will accompany you. Provide brief details about the traveler's relationship, purpose, and duration of stay. If traveling alone, explain your plans and purpose clearly. This question assesses your responsibility and planning. Traveling with family may indicate stronger home ties, but clarity is key. Avoid vague statements like, "maybe with friends." A precise response shows organization and credibility, helping the officer understand your travel arrangements and reinforcing the temporary nature of your visit. 13. Why should you be granted a U.S. visa? Emphasize your strong ties to your home country, financial stability, clear travel purpose, and compliance with U.S. immigration laws. Highlight your credibility, professionalism, and honest intentions. Avoid generic or arrogant answers like, "because I want to go." Show that you are well-prepared, organized, and responsible. Your answer should convince the officer that granting the visa is low risk and that you will return home. Confidence, honesty, and clarity are key to leaving a positive impression and increasing your chances of approval. 14. Have you traveled internationally before? Answer truthfully and provide brief details of previous trips, including countries visited, purpose, and adherence to visa rules. Highlight responsible travel behavior and compliance with immigration laws. If this is your first international trip, mention that confidently. International travel experience reassures the officer that you understand travel requirements and return obligations. Avoid exaggeration or false claims. Showing a record of successful international travel increases credibility and suggests that you are likely to respect U.S. visa regulations. 15. What is your monthly income? State your current income clearly and provide context about your employment. Mention additional sources of income if relevant. Avoid vague or misleading answers. This helps the officer assess your ability to fund your trip without illegal work. Be confident and transparent. Providing honest financial information demonstrates responsibility and preparedness, reducing concerns about overstaying or working illegally. 16. Are you traveling for tourism or business? Clearly state your purpose and provide supporting details. For tourism, mention sightseeing, cultural experiences, or visiting family. For business, mention meetings, conferences, or networking. Avoid generic answers like, "just visiting." The officer needs to understand the legitimacy of your trip. Be specific, concise, and confident. A clear purpose aligns with your visa type, showing that your travel is legitimate and temporary, which strengthens your chances of approval. 17. Do you have a sponsor in the U.S.? Answer truthfully, providing details about the sponsor's relationship, address, and purpose of sponsorship. Explain whether the sponsor will provide accommodation, financial support, or guidance. If self-funded, clarify that clearly. Avoid vague statements. Credible sponsorship demonstrates planning and financial security, reassuring the officer that your visit is legitimate and organized. Proper documentation and clarity help prevent doubts about your trip's purpose. 18. How will you cover accommodation and living expenses? Explain your plans for hotels, rentals, or staying with family/friends. Mention your budget, financial preparation, and proof of funds. Avoid vague answers like, "I will manage." Clear planning demonstrates responsibility and reduces suspicion that you might overstay or work illegally. Providing details about accommodation arrangements and budgeting strengthens credibility, showing that your trip is well organized and temporary. 19. Why did you choose this travel period? Explain your choice based on vacation, business events, conferences, or family availability. Mention any seasonal attractions, holidays, or personal commitments. Avoid vague answers. Your reasoning should demonstrate planning and legitimate purpose. A clear explanation reassures the officer that your visit is well-timed, temporary, and aligns with your obligations back home, strengthening the credibility of your application. 20. Do you plan to work or study in the U.S. during this trip? Answer clearly, no, if you are on a tourist or business visa. Clarify that your trip is temporary and strictly for tourism, meetings, or conferences. Avoid vague answers. This reassures the officer that you understand visa restrictions and will comply with U.S. laws. Being explicit about your temporary purpose strengthens credibility and reduces concerns about overstaying or visa misuse. Preparing for a U.S. visa interview can be stressful, but with the right answers and confidence, you can make a great impression. Practice these 20 questions, stay honest, and be clear about your travel plans and ties to your home country. Remember, preparation is key, and presenting yourself as responsible and credible can significantly increase your chances of approval. Best of luck on your interview journey.